Welcome to Noob Guiding Noob. You seem really
I'm
excited.
very excited. Nah, yeah. Who are you?
I'm Mike.
And who am I?
You're Matt.
Okay. Mike, what are we doing today?
I don't know. It's your topic today.
I don't feel like it.
You're the even numbers one.
Episode's over. I'm done.
Well, thank you everybody for joining.
There you go. Yeah, you peaked in the red, baby, for that.
Did you just suddenly spike the game?
No, it's just your laughs. I mean, when we're laughing, it's gonna go in the red.
Absolutely.
Oh, fuck, this is gonna be bad.
Especially if I get my, squeaky, high-pitched laugh. That'll fuck it. I actually don't show up on the mic sometimes. If I'm laughing too hard in my D&D game,
yeah.
My team does not realize
your microphone will cut out.
I'm laughing because it completely cuts out.
Yeah, well, that happens a lot with certain microphones and how they're actually set up.
Yeah.
So
anyway, what are we doing today?
What is today? No, we already. Yeah,
we already did that.
That doesn't matter.
We did that last episode. Right. The bit's done.
So some cool stuff.
Okay.
This is gonna be old
by the time this goes out.
Yeah, because this stuff I wrote down for, I think, last week.
Oh. But, it's already old then.
Yeah, I'm just gonna see if any of this stuff really does matter. Oh, the release date for the new Legend of Zelda.
Oh,
Tears of the Kingdom.
What do we got?
May 12th. This year. Yeah, almost all this stuff is 2023.
I'm excited. That's actually pretty good. You heard that YouTube's getting its new CEO, right?
Oh yeah, the NFT man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, Susan stepping down. I didn't look into why she did.
I'm willing to bet the reason why is because there's a big lawsuit going on. Legally did something about it, and it was the short version is the lawsuit is going to be that YouTube is now not just YouTube but media companies in general might be held accountable for the things that people put on their the things they allow on their website.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, this was not a case because there are millions and billions of videos and you can't realistically
monitor
view all of them.
Yeah.
But this led to some issues and so some people got hurt and so the company, or not the company, the family is hey, we're suing YouTube as well and saying, hey, you should be held accountable for this. And lawmakers are actually really considering that. And a lot of people, a lot of lawyers and stuff, not just legal, but a lot of lawyers are actually going in and saying, I can't remember what it's called, but they can send in their 2 cents on it.
Yeah. On
big situations like that. It's a formal document. I can't remember what it's called, but basically they go in and say, look, you can't actually do that. That's unrealistic. We as lawyers will not be able to properly monitor this.
Okay. I mean,
it's a legal issue.
It's a legal issue, but it's too much shit to realistically police or monitor.
Because YouTube could potentially be held liable for everything on their platform. It's theorized that's the reason why she's stepping down.
It's whatever at that point. And then just the person who is going to replace her is not the greatest choice either.
Yeah. But what do you mean? It's a great choice from YouTube's perspective.
Yeah, from YouTube's
perspective.
But at least with the Zelda game releasing May 12th.
That's actually pretty cool.
From the trailers or teaser thing, it looked like you might be able to play Zelda in the game.
Yeah, because she has her own Sheikah tablet, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a slim chance unless it's a case of specific parts you can only play her as, which
would be fine too.
Wouldn't be too surprising.
That's I mean, yes, it's the Legend of Zelda, but you play as Link. You've always played as Link.
Yeah, but it's Zelda. Legend of Zelda.
Honestly, I'm good either way. I wouldn't mind playing as Zelda. I like Zelda. I like Zelda as a character. She's actually a really compelling kind of character for the ones that she's actually in.
No, she's not compelling. Don't hit your foot against the fucking table, you son of a bitch. You stupid piece of trash. I stubbed
my toe against your table. I'm going to sue you now.
Good. Let's see if you can try. What else?
I don't know. Lawsuits have been successful for more stupid shit in the past.
Yeah, man. That one doesn't matter because Nintendo is dumb and stupid. Oh, I finished Post Stormblood on Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that. How? All right. No spoilers, but how is it?
Pretty good. I like that. Heaven's Ward was the one that made me cry the most, and then Post Stormblood almost got me there a few times. Ugh. It got me a few times near the ending bits.
I need to do it.
You have to
sit down and do it.
Yeah. And then just starting Shadowbringers, it's a pretty solid start. Because I saw on YouTube...
Oh, you actually went ahead and started Shadowbringers?
Yeah, why not? I saw on YouTube at least like a few... There was like... It was just like
Final
a
Fantasy 14 for anyone that doesn't know.
I don't give a fuck if they don't know. A few of like screenshots I saw of like how much voiced content there was like per expansion. ARR had like nothing at all. But Shadowbringers, apparently it's like starting right off with like a lot of cutscenes and a lot of more voice stuff, which is nice.
Well, I know that by Stormblood, well, even Heavensward pretty much, they basically went 50-50 where every other cutscene was voiced, it seemed like.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it was like a real like screenshot of a video, but I think Endwalker has at least 16 hours worth of voiced lines.
So like an actual Final Fantasy game? Oh, so sorry. Like a Final Fantasy expansion?
Yeah.
Because an actual Final Fantasy game is like 30 hours of just cutscenes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, at least, post Stormblood was actually really good. I did give a shit about Ghost Setsu in the end, okay?
Yes!
He's fine. He's a fine character.
He's a badass.
I just didn't give a shit about him when you initially meet him for Stormblood. Because
he was like goofy, but he was a good character. He was a good guy.
He was too set in his ways.
Oh yeah.
But post fixes that in not the greatest way.
He's a new man.
Yeah. Yeah, you can say that. You can say that. And then speaking of Final Fantasy 14, this has already been done with, but the G-Shade bullshit. Do you know the actual reason?
Yeah. Oh.
The malware
that
he put on it was to...
It was cut out third-party stuff, wasn't it? Or like
so basically, because I was wondering why, because I had G-Shade originally.
Right.
And I'm like, why the hell do I have to update it again when I just updated it the day before?
Oh, yeah.
So, because G-Shade originally would not work unless you updated it. It would turn off your shaders, and you would have no way to use it unless you updated it.
But there was like a workaround or something, right?
So, a 16-year-old modder... From what this said, so basically G-Shade was a mod that was based off of another mod, Reshade. Reshade is for every game. G-Shade was specifically made
for Final Fantasy.
Quote unquote made for Final Fantasy 14 specifically.
Okay.
Just to make it easier so you don't have to install Reshade to then install it onto Final Fantasy. G-Shade was just one and done. So this modder basically made a different version of G-Shade where you didn't have to update G-Shade to have it run. Because the updates were not even fixes.
Right.
They were just random bullcrap to not do anything.
Yeah, so it was like basically I'm wasting my time. I want to get in the game and play with it.
I want to actually be able to, So this modder just made a workaround. But the quote-unquote dev of G-Shade was, well, fine. I'm going to own this little kid, this 16-year-old modder, by putting malware into G-Shade, targeted at this specific person, but it going to everybody, even the unsuspecting people who updated G-Shade.
Isn't that technically illegal?
I mean, the mod itself is illegal, so not technically.
Well, no. I'm talking about like purposely putting malware on stuff.
You know. But I mean, because G-Shade is just it's supposed to be a user-friendly thing.
It's one thing if it goes against terms of service for your game. It's another thing if you are actively causing damage to someone else's computer.
Yeah.
Someone else's property.
But this modder made a program that allows you to skip the update process by forcing an earlier version to load instead, because the versions don't really matter.
Right.
And he got all upset, and he added the process, the malware, or something like that, to force your computer to restart if it detected that you were using
an earlier version
G-Shade through third-party means.
Yeah, that's what I read. It was through third-party means.
Yeah.
Has anything come up of that yet? Or
I haven't seen anything else from that. Basically,
has everyone just gone back to Reshade?
People have gone to Reshade because you have the multitudes of tutorials for Reshade and all that. Now that's what I had to do. Yeah. I updated G-Shade. I think I saw the article the day after.
Oh.
I never started the game or whatever. Well, I did, but I didn't. I used it through G-Shade, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
I saw the articles. I'm like, oh, that sucks. So then I think the day after that, I uninstalled G-Shade correctly the way GitHub took G-Shade off of its fucking platform.
Completely. No, I imagine. Well, like, because they try not to let malware onto their thing. It's like, all right, if you're distributing malware, we're taking you down. You ain't doing that shit.
So they put up a tutorial on how to get rid of G-Shade completely, and then I reinstalled. Installing Reshade is actually easy as hell, too.
I don't know why everyone went to G-Shade.
I don't know. I guess it's just, I have no idea why. But I mean,
I wonder if he's made any comments about that. Like, hey,
well, he's been
you're taking down
ostracized from everything. That the person who made G Shade doesn't exist anymore.
Oof.
Like, he probably, I mean, obviously he's a human.
He's
and
not,
probably lives...
not on Twitter anymore.
Oh,
huh?
no way. There's no way, and G Shade can never come. If somebody takes over G Shade, it's never gonna.
Oh yeah, no.
Come back.
No,
it's just not possible. They fuck people over, and all because of a guy got
it's a petty
he got
thing.
a little upset that somebody younger than him, technically a child,
did a workaround
to allow people to have their graphics without updates that didn't do shit.
That I always hate pettiness like that.
Oh yeah, that's the pettiest of petty. He destroyed his credibility as a developer because.
Well, I was telling you about that one flautist that I read the story.
Oh
about
yep.
It was kind of saying like, learn some fucking humility.
It's like, yeah, God forbid, dude, have it so we don't need to. Like, people went to G Shade because it was one step. That's it.
Yeah.
Done.
Well, or even like, if someone offers a fix to your system, don't destroy your system to try and say, ha ha, take that.
Yeah.
No, what you do is you realize someone's trying to fix my stuff. I should probably incorporate that into my stuff. I can't remember what game company did that, but like, there was a game. There basically what it was like there was a mod, where it fixed some things in their game, and then they're like, well, we want to own this. Like, yes, they did the company kind of scummy thing of shutting that mod down, but then they turned around and actually like added it and incorporated it into the game.
Oh, you could say that a lot about any Bethesda games or anything like that.
I think Bethesda does.
Not that they forcefully shut down modders, but it's like.
But no, I can't remember what this was.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, because the one from, and of course Yoshi P, it got so much traction, like that Yoshi P himself
has actually responded.
Yeah, he said shader programs like Reshade, that their primary use for being for screenshots and accessibility puts them in a safe territory. And territory that might infringe if someone figures out, like, so he's fine with those because they're not modifying how you play the game. They can, and it gives you more options for like putting clarity into the fucking game. Yeah. So you can see stuff better. And it's funny because the
shout out to my colorblind crew.
Yeah, your colorblind. The giant community G posers. Who are a community for G posing, group posing, taking the screenshots of all that. They're
one of the big sellers for Final Fantasy.
Huge. Yeah. They're a huge group, and they're like, oh yeah, G Shade is nothing anymore, so we're just. The dev of the mod has been banned from at least the Discord of Final Fantasy, probably from ever making anything ever again. So.
Ew.
Oh yeah, he's a piece of shit for being that petty.
God damn that! This is literally again like the EA and Wizards of the Coast thing, like all over again. It's like
Hasbro,
look,
Wizards of the Coast. Yeah.
If you destroy your own product, you're gonna lose your fucking customers.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I don't know how it works.
That's basic fucking logic. Like, oh my god.
Hogwarts Legacy released though, man.
That, oh my god.
I'm not gonna talk about it. I don't care anymore.
It's still good.
I played the game for a little. I mean, I haven't played in a few days. It is fun.
I'm playing it tomorrow. I'm streaming it.
It's fun. I don't know.
It's an RPG. It takes a while to.
It's a third-person RPG. Yeah. It has a lot of collecting stuff. You can ride Thomas the Tank Engine.
That's right. I forgot about.
You can ride Shrek as of recent news. You can ride Shrek.
You can put Hogwarts into an American school by taking a gun.
You have the mod of the gun. The guy made the gun sound.
Yeah.
So I put that on. I haven't played it since that. You can like the mods are funny. Like you can have no cooldown on every spell. Somebody made a mod where you can target students and teachers.
Oh no!
As enemies, so you can just Avada Kedavra kill people.
That's terrible.
But like the best thing about it, of like a lot of TikTok stuff when it was coming out,
really making Hogwarts an Americanizing school.
Like TikTok wise, before like the game was releasing, I just kept seeing all of these funny, like almost all of them would make me laugh. Of like, oh yeah, the American exchange student at Hogwarts, or
I saw that one.
Oh, something about like making the most minor inconvenience. A teacher would like say something to a student, and then immediately cuts to the Avada Kedavra, Voldemort saying Avada Kedavra, and it were just the funniest stuff. But
first thing modders typically do, turn everyone killable. Actually, fun fact about that, that is actually why there were no children NPCs in Oblivion. was because Bethesda was worried modders would make them killable and people would just go and kill children. And then, of course, the first thing that comes out in Skyrim modding.
That's the thing. It's like having killable kids doesn't... There's nothing wrong with killing kids in video games.
I do not agree. This man does not speak for me.
It doesn't matter. Well, like,
but it's
mod-wise.
I know. Well, it's like people
doesn't
doing
matter.
their own thing. I swear to God, like, again, the Skyrim one,
yeah,
I am almost positive that was like a community troll to the developers.
Oh, yeah.
Going back to Oblivion and Morrowind, because like that was something they specifically stated.
And games make
we did not do this because we're letting you mod our system and we know what's going to happen.
A lot of games that don't take themselves too seriously are doing like achievements or random things in games where like, oh, ha ha ha, you can do this.
Yeah.
Because, and they like make a nod to Bethesda specifically.
Yeah.
But that's an old thing. But yeah, Hogwarts Legacy, at least for the time I played it, it's a fucking third-person open world RPG with magic. I mean,
in the Hogwarts setting.
In the the Wizarding World setting. So if you like wizards and shit and you want to cast Avada Kedavra,
you don't even need to do that. You can just enjoy it.
Just get it on PC. That way you can mod the hell out of it.
I honestly, even the base game is like...
Oh, even the base game
I'm
is
enjoying
fine.
it quite a bit.
Like, but if you want to have more fun with it after you beat it or whatever...
Yeah, mods are
then you can mod it out to either have like a full save or go around.
Well, again, I want to finish my challenge run of each of the Mass Effect games specifically so that I can install mods on it afterwards. Because like even just texture mods and stuff, I don't want to risk that like invalidating a run.
Right.
So it's like, all right, I'm not gonna bother with it. Just do it the vanilla and then run through it because the mods look amazing. I didn't realize how far it had gone for Legendary Edition. Oh my god! I sent Discord a while back
of my Monster Hunter Rise speedrun of my fastest time for that. And like I sent it in
run or something like that.
Yeah, it was like the roly poly bullshit where you had to collect 8 after a certain amount of time because the time looked whatever for first place at that time. Like I beat that before, but I sent it in. Took a couple weeks for them to actually put it up on the leaderboard. I'm still number 1 as of last I checked because it's a stupid quest. Nice. Nobody cares enough to. And then I got an email like last week that says, "Hey, it's been verified." But it was like months ago.
Oh yeah,
guys, you already put me on there.
Speedrun.com takes it very seriously.
Because they're all volunteers too, so they have to.
Also, there's a whole lot of speedruns. Like it's not like all of them that are doing the Monster Hunter stuff. There's still going to be tons and tons and hundreds.
Which is fine.
Submissions.
I mean, that's okay. But hey, officially speedrunner.
And you know what? Credit where credit's due. They are dedicated. They're a dedicated group. They go through frame by frame to search for any inconsistencies or any issues like that. So
yeah, I never set a stopwatch. So let's get to
So what are we talking about today?
Elder Scrolls Arena, The Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall, The Elder Scrolls Morrowind, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, The Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, and The Elder Scrolls 6. What do they have in common?
Oh, Redguard, wasn't it?
There is also Redguard was from 98. Elder Scrolls Battlespire, Elder Scrolls Redguard, Elder Scrolls Online. What do those have in common, Mike?
The Elder Scrolls.
Okay. It's very difficult. So, what exactly are the Elder Scrolls?
If I remember
correctly... Why am I asking you? I'm not asking you. I'm asking them.
Okay.
You son of a bitch. What are Elder Scrolls? What do you think specifically that you remember that Elder Scrolls are?
So I know...
This is going to be a mess from what I put down.
I believe
so I'm
it.
not...
Honestly, I believe that the Elder Scrolls in general are a mess.
Yeah, but what do you think they are?
So if I remember correctly, they record specific points in history, but they're like fourth dimensional writing. So like they tell of the future or past or whatever, and if you read them, you go blind. I know that much.
Okay, good enough. Those are some correct points. A lot of those are like the easy pinpoints for it. So I might just read down like a lot of this stuff.
By all
I don't
means,
get super into the moth cultists because it's not. The specifics of the ritual are not important.
They're basically just librarians, aren't they? For the Elder Scrolls?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, what are the Elder Scrolls exactly? WTF are Elder Scrolls? Is what I wrote for that. The Elder Scrolls are considered artifacts of an unknown origin and quantity. They're
because they like keep finding more, like fucking everywhere.
So basically, the scrolls are archives of past, present, and future events, depending when you can read them.
I'll ask a question on that. Little side note: one of my favorite mods for Skyrim is having an Elder Scroll on your back
as a cape.
Yeah. Yep. And it's oh my god, I love that. I love the one like it doesn't have any enchantments. You can enchant anything onto it. Yep. And if you have the infinite enchantment mods, it works
just
with
pops
it. So it's like, oh, I love it.
Pretty cool. Does it actually like look like an Elder Scroll on your back?
No. It's literally like so it's in like the case and whatnot,
and it's just like hanging
on your back.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, okay. it's actually, and what's really cool is like if you have like the swords that go on your back, you know how they're at a slight angle.
Yeah.
The Elder Scroll's at the same angle, so it doesn't get in the way of the sword.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Those are the mods I actually liked. Trying to have
that was an early one too. I think that came out the first year Skyrim came out.
Well, like having the sheath out shit where either you have them on your back or on your sides, and they have different pull-out animations depending.
Oh, I love it. One of my favorite. I can't remember what it's called. It's like the spell sword animation set, and that one, oh my god, that looks good.
I would just do the defaults.
Absolute kudos and points to you.
So
past, present, or future, depending on when you can read them.
Depending when they are read, yes.
When they are read. These really are fourth dimensional.
The scrolls often tell of events that require a quote-unquote hero to resolve them, a la Skyrim.
Yeah, Dragonborn.
Skyrim is the only one. Oblivion has something like it,
they have the Elder Scrolls, and the Elder Scrolls do mention the invasion of Dagon.
Yes.
But the only time that you deal with the Elder Scrolls yourself is when you're stealing them for the Thieves Guild.
Yes. They they do not select, so it's not like the Elder Scrolls have a mind of their own.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when they are read, it's only when a hero is the one to read it to stop whatever is happening, or however the events are supposed to happen. Yeah.
Gotcha.
They're also known as Adric prophecies, yet they are suggested not to even be being created by Adra. So people aren't even sure who made them.
Okay.
People call them Adric prophecies. Adra are the good deities.
Right.
But that's inaccurate. So it's, again, word of mouth.
I know there's a lot of mystery surrounding the Elder Scrolls. Like there's, I said, when you said it's kind of a mess how you wrote it down. I'm like, I vaguely remember it being just a mess in general.
But without any tech aid,
because they're a MacGuffin. Yeah, MacGuffins are like, the more mysterious it is, the more bullshit you can have it do.
But without any technology aid or any of that, they cannot be read without the extreme side effects, including blindness and insanity, going mad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did not know that one.
The Elder Scrolls have been said so apparently they exceed both Adra and the Daedra, which implies that neither groups of these created them.
Do you think?
So whoever the fuck created the Elder Scrolls?
I wonder if it was something that was just like formed together at the formation of the universe kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like they are.
When I looked up
part of the fabric of reality.
When I looked up when I was doing the creation myth, it never mentioned anything of the scrolls. So that might be like its own. That might be a thing that like Bethesda made for their lore of like.
Yeah.
Let people interpret their own thing.
Well, I don't think it's just Bethesda because. Was Bethesda always Elder Scrolls? Because I know that
I have no fucking clue.
I know they bought Fallout. The first two Fallout games were not made by Bethesda. They were made by, and I think Fallout Tactics as well. Don't quote me on that. But I know that Bethesda bought the franchise for Fallout 3. I don't know if Elder Scrolls. No, I think Elder Scrolls was Bethesda.
Unless I really went into it and figured it out.
They've always called it Elder Scrolls, though, didn't they?
Yeah, it's always been Elder Scrolls. Even since the first, Elder Scrolls Arena was the first one. Let's see. So until the events of each scroll have come to pass, when you are able to read them,
right?
They are able to contain the information about possible events in the future.
So basically, they're unreadable until right before things happen.
Yeah,
and then they give you like short-term future stuff.
Yeah. So once the prophecies of the scrolls have been that are contained in the scroll have been have happened,
right?
The text is then readable for everybody.
So you can read it before
if you have the technology to read it or do the ritual to read it and see. if you're able to do those,
you can see into the future.
You can see into the future, but once that future has come to pass,
they're just a record of history.
It's just a record of history.
Wow. Okay, that's actually kind of neat. That's actually a really good way to approach prophecy.
Yeah.
Because like normally prophecy is like
it becomes a fixed point.
Right.
So then after that time, everybody who is able to read it,
it's like probably like a little bit wobbly at first. It can go this way or this way.
If somebody tells you,
and then when it happens, it just shows, okay, no, it went this way.
Somebody reads it and they're like, oh, this is going to happen. Obviously, people can be like, well, that's not really going to happen. And then when it does, and then
it gets like, okay,
historians read it.
So yeah, these are fourth dimensional. Okay, interesting.
The unequivocal truth of past events. Once solidified, they cannot be altered at all. So once those events are set in stone, they are set in stone. They are set for forever, for eternity.
This is the chronicle of what happened.
You know that once this is read, it's the undeniable events of history.
It has to be related to Akatosh then, because he's the god of time, isn't he?
Maybe.
Yeah.
They have some relation to time, and they offer a view through a fixed point in time to the flow of time itself. So this is what I wrote down. It says they appear to be dependent on the flow of time in order to function. Mm-hmm. Events which alter the linear time, known as the dragon breaks, cannot be recorded or predicted by the Elder Scrolls, which is why in Skyrim you see basically how Alduin came into Skyrim at that set point of time is because of an Elder Scroll. He broke through and made the time wound to go back and forth. That's how you're able to go. You have to read the scroll to learn the shout to take down Alduin.
Right.
But you wouldn't have been able to know the shout because nobody knows the shout because of the Elder Scroll.
Wow, that is some real time.
It's kind of convoluted. That's the problem with like time travel-ish.
Well, again, this isn't like that's the kind of thing that I like about this. Is it's not really time travel. They're more like time anchors.
Yes.
They're records of specific events that guarantee that those events happen.
Yeah.
It's actually that's a really cool idea for like fantasy sci-fi travel in general. Because, like, it kind of solves the time travel problem.
Oh, yeah.
You make a magical artifact that says, this event will happen. And then you can, go left and right, back and forward, however you want in between those events. Yep. But, like, that event will still eventually... That's actually really cool concept.
Yeah. From Skyrim, specifically, Parthenax, he's a dragon, but what is his significance?
He's Alduin's brother. Alduin was the first dragon. I think Parthenax was literally the second.
Gotcha. But he explains that the dragons are very vulnerable to the effects of the scrolls because dragons being born of Akatosh, who is the dragon of time. God of time. Then that explains how Alduin was cast into the future which makes the time wound to be able to push him into Skyrim at that point of time of when you play, because that's why people are super fucking surprised seeing dragons.
Right. So you open up the scroll in the future, basically connects you to the past, which is what causes Alduin to like go back to the future kind of thing.
Because when I get to it, the heroes
cast Dragonrend.
They cast Dragonrend and they weren't able to defeat him, so they had to. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, so they read your Elder Scroll and kind of forced...
No, it's not... Yes.
They forced Alduin to that point in time.
They pushed him back in time.
Gotcha.
Pushed him forward in time.
Yeah.
So, it's gonna... Yeah, that's why I wrote it. I wrote, like, this stuff it's convoluted. But we're trying to make it simple for people to understand in the end.
So the most complicated
I'm
subject
sorry.
in Elder
I'm sorry.
Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls, that's the problem. Elder Scrolls are literally fourth dimensional.
Timey-wimey bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm starting to like the idea of time anchors, though.
That makes sense.
That's actually pretty cool.
So, as most people would know, reading a scroll takes time, preparation, and a lot of training. But of course, you'll go blind, or you'll start to go blind and then go blind, or you'll just take to madness.
If I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, even if you're blind, you can still read.
About to read that.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
If you have no ability, with no ability to understand any of it, you're only going to see etchings and runes on the paper.
Right.
You'll probably see constellations of all the
stars and
birth signs and all that. Yep. But with the more knowledge you have of how to understand and read the scrolls, the easier it is for you to go blind and become mad, but also being able to see the future.
So the more you understand it, the more it it takes
corrupts
away
you.
from you.
Yeah, it takes away from you. Yep.
Huh.
Each new foretelling of it will strike you with blindness and gradually increase with each of the reading, while granting you the broader view of the contents of the entire scroll, because it's a fucking scroll. So it's like long. I mean, from the games and shit, you barely like open it up. Yeah. But I would assume like scrolls are hella
they're
long.
decently, yeah. Especially like if you look at how thick they are.
Yeah.
As like the scroll case.
Yeah.
That's a decent sized scroll.
It's really decently sized.
Yeah.
But yeah, once you start reading it, you will start to go blind and go mad. And then that's where the cult of the ancestral moths.
Yep.
Their sole focus is training themselves to read scrolls.
That's a hell. You know what? I'll say it. That's a hell of a public service, actually. Like going blind so that everyone else is prepared for the future.
Yeah. The price to pay for ultimate knowledge of future events.
Yeah.
Is
it's
what they
great,
do,
but they're willing to pay
because they have to do a lot of training just to do that. And while the elders that read the scrolls start to go blind, the younger members take care of them and then most likely ascend to their level to read the scrolls themselves when they can find the scrolls.
Eventually they're gonna have to do a thing where like you're dealing with the last moth priest. The whole order is like going out of business, whatever, and like no one can read the Elder Scrolls. That'll be interesting.
That would be interesting too, yeah.
Yeah. That'd be a good like main plot for like, I don't know, Elder Scrolls 10 or some shit.
Right. Other than that though, and then there was another group that is able to read the scrolls without any of the side effects.
Really?
And who would that be, Mike?
The Aedra and the Daedra?
No.
Alright, who?
The Dwemer.
Oh, right, because they had
They were so technologically advanced of a species and race that they were able to develop the device called...
the Orrery?
No. It starts with an L?
The Lexicon?
They made a device called a lexicon, which allowed anybody to read an Elder Scroll without going blind or insane. That's why you can read it.
Damn, those dwarves...
Yeah, Dwemer are fucking rad.
Yeah, holy shit. Like, I knew they were, but I didn't realize it was, like, reality bending level. Well, I mean, like, I kind of assumed because they all disappeared at some point, but, like,
it's a little... It's a fucking cube that you have to decipher the Elder Scroll.
Wow.
So, yeah, the Dwemer... I don't know when they did this, but I guess if the moth priests are just unable to have a lexicon because Dwemer have been gone for fucking forever at this point.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this is the way we know how to do it. Yeah, it sucks.
Well, also, if you think about it, it's like you do also want to have that as a backup in case for whatever reason the tech stops working.
Yes, absolutely.
So, like, it does make sense.
Let's see, this is the Ritual of the Moth, which it's...
Sorry, I'm remembering the first time I played the game.
Yeah.
I did the Ogma Infinium quest. I didn't realize you were supposed to grab the Elder Scroll because I did it as a side quest before doing the main quest. God. And so I left the Elder Scroll there.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I finally, like, I got all the Daedric artifacts. I did most of the guild quests.
Yeah.
I finally did the main quest. And she's like, we need to get ourselves an Elder Scroll. And I'm like, wait, really? Oh, man, that's so cool. And then they mentioned Blackreach, and I go through literally the same entrance. I went to the same place. I'm like, I've been here before. And the Elder Scroll's just, like, sitting there waiting for me.
Jesus Christ.
It was just sitting there out in the open for, like,
I mean, it's nice that
hours.
Yeah, it's nice you can go there, and it was already there in the first place.
Oh yeah. But sorry, I didn't mean. No,
you're good.
I remembered that. I'm like, God, that was so bad.
But supposedly for the moth priests, to read a scroll, it takes place in one of their glades. To dumb it down, not to dumb it down, but to condense it down. Apparently, it would take years to do this.
But as the hero of the Dragonborn, you can do it in minutes.
Because you have the lexicon.
No, even if you don't.
No, you need the lexicon to read the scroll.
No. If you do you need a certain scroll to do the Moth Priest ritual. Like you.
Then why do you get the lexicon?
That's for the Dawnguard DLC, I think.
No.
Yeah.
I remember a lexicon you have to do the puzzle, and then you get the fucking Elder Scroll.
Where the moths like follow you around. There's like a little quest.
I don't remember that.
I think that's for Dawnguard DLC.
I don't give a fuck about the DLC. You wouldn't need a lexicon for the whatever.
Anyways,
with the Moth Priests, yes, they do something with like their ancestral glades and cutting off bark of a tree.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go into like a lot of this stuff.
Well, because that's what gets the moths to follow you, and then the moths
By having
have,
them
like, an
close to the
aura.
priest, yeah, the moths can follow the priest and can utilize to share their augury, which is a term to be able to see shit.
Divination.
Yeah, divinations. And they cut off the bark of a tree, a canticle tree, which in turn attracts the moths to them. And once enough of the moths are in the vicinity of the moth priest, they are able to grant the reader with the second sight needed to decipher the scroll, but still with the price of blindness and insanity. Okay. So it's not like these moth priests are just able to sit there and fucking meditate and be like, oh, I can read this.
There's a whole ritual for
They have a whole ritual of going to a specific place, cutting bark of a specific tree with a specific knife to allow the moths to go around them to then read the scroll.
Interesting. So what was the part where, like, like I said, I thought that if you were blind, you could still read the Elder Scrolls too. Like, if you're already blind.
I don't think you'd be able to, because the scroll is still reading this. Like, you have to have sight to see.
Okay.
You are, like, some of them are, like, can still be partially blind and still read the scroll, but once you're permanently blind, it's impossible. You can't read the scroll.
Gotcha.
It's not like you're drawing upon energy to, like, fucking telekinetically read, or whatever the word for that is.
I'm actually not sure what...
It's some mind power to...
Yeah, it's not...
read.
Yeah.
But, let's see. But that's how it is for... Yeah, I mean, the lore of the Elder Scrolls is... They're basically fourth dimension... Like I said, fourth dimension pieces of fucking paper.
Yeah.
Whoever made them,
That's still kind of neat, though, that, like, again, nobody can read it until the event happens, and then just anyone can read it, no problem. That actually implies something really cool from a lore perspective. Like I said, like time anchors kind of thing. Yeah. Like, that's kind of cool.
So, let me...
Again, I'm really looking at Akatosh for that, because he's also the one that said time move forward, right? So what if like he set up the Elder Scrolls at certain points to basically say, this is the order, like everything happened at once because God's time and all that.
Yeah.
And then Akatosh said, no. It happened here, then here, then here, then here, and just like dropped the Elder Scrolls.
I mean, that's the thing. They could have had enough foresight to see fucking thousands of years into the future. Mm-hmm. And then, whoever was like, hey, we're done creating this universe. Let time start flowing naturally. So, fate could have been predetermined since the very beginning.
Really interesting. I mean, that's kind of interesting, actually.
So, from what I was able to gather, the exact number of the Elder Scrolls cannot be counted at all. The cults of the Ancestral Moths tried this, but each attempt that they would try, stop hitting your knee on the fucking table.
Sorry.
It's a shitty table. Yeah, I know. But the moth cults, each time they tried to quantify the numbers, or even trying to find where the scrolls are, they would immediately change their place, how many of them are, for no reason.
Huh.
They're
literally designed to be a mystery.
They seem to be like sentient fourth wall scrolls that...
Huh.
Yeah. Apparently, some consider it blasphemy to try to find a scroll, specifically the Greybeards. When you're playing in Skyrim, they are not super excited about
you actually going and looking for them.
Yeah, but God forbid you try to stop a world-ending threat.
Yeah,
whatever. Who cares? And the funny thing about you saying about having an Elder Scroll for a cape.
Yeah.
So in the Dawnguard DLC, you meet a vampire woman.
Serena.
Yep. And she wears a cape.
Yeah?
And Mike, do you know what that cape could be?
Well, I know she has an Elder Scroll, like, over the cape.
Her cape is an Elder Scroll.
Oh.
And you use that to, I believe, stop the clan leader.
It's
the vampire leader
it's
of Oriel's son, right?
Yeah, something like that.
They sought an Elder Scroll from the Soul Cairn to end the sun's threat to the vampires with Oriel's bow.
Yep.
So Serana, the Harkon Volkar, who there's the current leader of the vampire clan in the Dawnguard DLC, She was in possession of the Elder Scroll, which was draped across her back in plain sight.
Yep.
So she had a fucking Elder Scroll
just on
this entire time, and her father is just...
Well, I remember that was the thing, was like the reason why he sent his vampires to the place to get her.
Yep.
Was because she was guarding an Elder Scroll,
yes.
effectively.
But they weren't.
And then the Dawnguard shows up too. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then so that's one of the instances of an Elder Scroll being in the games and all that.
Well, there's also the the one that you get from the Ogma Infinium quest, Serana's. And then there's actually a third one that has to do... They all have to do with the Day of Black Sun thing.
Yep.
The Moth Priest from the Dawnguard DLC is also carrying one. Like, he's transporting one through Skyrim at the time,
nice.
I think. And that's why you go and you... Wait, no. No. That's not right. No, that's right. His wife had it, right? And that's why you had to go to the... That's why you had to go to the Soul Cairn, if I remember correctly.
I would believe so,
was to retrieve it. And then you had to go to the Moth... To capture the Moth Priest so that he could read it.
Yep.
That's right.
I wouldn't know. I didn't do any of the DLCs, I think, at least for Dragonborn.
Dude, you should. It's really good.
No, I can't waste my fucking time playing Skyrim again. It's too boring after a while. Let's see. So, yeah, when you, in Skyrim at least, when you're reading the scroll, you learn about the 3 heroes that tried to stop Alduin.
Mm-hmm.
So, atop the throne of the world, where the Greybeards reside, blah, 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 during the Merithic era.
Okay.
So, way back. ME, whatever the hell, whatever time.
ME3.
Yeah, we'll say that. Alduin had led the dragons into the war against all of the people of Tamriel, because Alduin and dragons and people don't mix.
Right.
Ever. Atop of the throne of the world, those 3 Nord heroes, called the Tongues, fought against Alduin and his dragons. But when Alduin had arrived, they used the Dragon Rend shout to face him. Unfortunately, Alduin had kills one of the 3 Nord heroes. You see that in the game, where Alduin, grabs and throws one in ragdoll fashion, because you can't really do... That's the one thing. Bethesda should have done cutscenes in games.
All he should have done is get a giant up there, and he could have just sent him in
space. Giant or 2, and that would have worked. But yeah, Alduin killed one of the Tongues, and apparently Alduin was too strong for the heroes.
Whoa.
So, the other 2 decided to... This is what I said earlier. The other 2 decided to use the Elder Scroll to defeat him by banishing him with the scroll and returning him to Skyrim in the 4th era of the year 201. And, unfortunately, using the scroll is what broke time and resulted in the form of a time wound, which is how the Dragon Crisis then happened.
Gotcha.
Because in the Return of Alduin in Skyrim in 4E 201, it was foreseen by the Elder Scrolls. So your character, the Dragonborn, was sent by Parthenax, his brother, right?
Yeah, I know they called him brother. I'm not sure if they're actually...
I think all dragons are brothers, technically, but...
I'm actually pretty sure he does say that, like, Parthenax does say, like, he was the second son. Like, Alduin was the first son, and I think Parthenax was the second.
Gotcha. But, so your character is sent by Parthenax to obtain the Elder Scroll that banished Alduin in the past, so that actual scroll, in order for you to observe through the time wound of the scroll, to learn the shout, to then finally cast, to defeat Alduin, actually for real this time.
Gotcha.
So originally Alduin was not... That's why they're so surprised when they see a dragon in the year 201 in the 4th era. Because originally... They were back in the Merithic era, which is fucking...
millennia.
Yeah. 3rd era, 2nd era, 1st era, and then Merithic era. So way the fuck back. No, I guess, no dragons have ever been seen since then. And then all of a sudden one fucking pops up out of nowhere because
starts racing.
Because 3 people couldn't kill a dragon? Come on.
Well, to be fair, they weren't Dragonborns.
That's true. Well, they could shout, though.
Well, shouting was just like a technique that could be done. It was literally the dragon language.
Because Ulfric's not a dragonborn. He can just shout.
Correct. And then, same with the Greybeards too. They're not dragonborn. Yeah, no. The only dragonborn
right. They can just shout. We just have the natural ability to do it.
Well, because we have like the soul of a dragon, and as such, like it kind of cheats the rules that we are a dragon.
We skip ahead,
even though we're not a dragon.
Yep. Okay. All right. Yeah, that makes sense.
The rules. It's kind of like adding a tag to your character in a game or something. It's like, all right, I'm playing a human, but I'm gonna cheat and add dragon to my
Gotcha.
to my character sheet.
So at least that, for Skyrim's reasons, that's one point of an Elder Scroll being used to help and to hinder.
Right.
Because they couldn't deal with a threat on their own.
They delayed it.
Whatever.
Well, what's cool is, like, and this is something I like about the Dragonborn.
Yeah.
If a dragon kills another dragon, they absorb that soul and take that power. And that's what makes you so unique. If anyone else kills another dragon, they can kill. Like, they, in theory, could kill Alduin. It would not do anything. He'd just reform later.
Yep. Because dragons, it's basically like the Lich issue, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Dragons don't die unless something is able to absorb their soul.
Which only other dragons can.
Or
certain greater deities, which
is the souls. Soul Cairn. I don't know if all souls go to the Soul Cairn.
No, only the ones that go into, that are used, not even go into, but are used from soul gems.
Gotcha.
And those go to the Ideal Masters, is what they're called.
Gotcha. But since you are specifically a Dragonborn, you have the blood and soul of a dragon, so you're able to suck them up. Yeah, absorb.
So they can
souls.
actually die. You gain their power.
Yeah,
and they die.
In Oblivion, like you were saying earlier, when you're helping the Grey Fox, this is another instance of a scroll. The hero of Kvetch, just the player character, steals the Elder Scroll from the Imperial Palace, where then the Grey Fox passes on the curse of the Nocturnal Cowl to you.
Which actually is, like, really good, because it's not even. Here's the thing: it's not even that it's actually cursed. It actually breaks the curse, and the or like it kind of suppresses it.
Yeah.
So when you have the cowl on, you are the Grey Fox.
Yes.
But when you take it off, you become you.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas previously, when you took off the cowl, you became no one.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
The Grey Fox is. It's a really cool.
Gotcha.
There's actually a point you're talking to him. And he's like, you actually can ask him, well, why don't you tell me your real name? He's like, I already have 6 fucking times. That's the curse of the cowl.
That's the problem of it, yeah.
Yeah, you are a nobody, and that's what the curse was.
More like ball.
Nocturnal's cowl. Damn, that. I am surprised they don't bring that back as a Daedric artifact, because the Nocturnal's cowl makes a really good Daedric artifact. They have
ESO?
Maybe
maybe
it's shown up in a few other places, I think. Since Oblivion.
Yeah,
I know they have statues of it, of the Grey Fox.
Skyrim.
I know that there's mods in Skyrim that do reincorporate
it. Might have been a mod then. Yeah.
But like it's such a good artifact.
But yeah, so and then the other thing of like Serana having a scroll on her back too. Yep. Then her father trying to use it to the sun's threat to the vampires.
I mean, it's the Day of Black Sun is always a cool. It's a cool kind of prophecy thing. It'd be really cool for vamps, you know.
But yep. So other than that, from Oblivion's timeline, at least like the events of Oblivion, there were at that time. I'm boring you, ain't I?
No, I'm having some breathing issues.
You have to breathe in through your lungs.
Yeah, right. Damn, why didn't I think of that?
From the time
I was breathing in through my hands.
The events of Oblivion, at least in the library, the Elder Scrolls library. At that time and point, there were 273 Elder Scrolls
that they could count
that were in that library. Yes, that was like apparently the only time you could actually figure out that there were that many scrolls. But other than that, man, I mean,
do you know if all the Elder Scrolls are in the Cyrodiilic library, or are they like just is there like somewhere else where they can come from too?
That was like the most amount, like
in one place.
In one place that they were able to figure out. There could be many more out there.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's a short topic. But I mean, I thought it was actually more than when I was doing it. I'm like, oh shit, that's a lot of stuff to talk about. But a lot of it is,
well, it's a MacGuffin, so there's a lot of bullshit.
There's these specific sections and eras of like, oh, this is what a scroll was. This is where this scroll was.
Huh.
But realistically, yeah, that's what an Elder Scroll is
time anchor.
It's a time anchor. It's a fourth dimension sentient piece of fucking paper that has events of the future that nobody can read unless you are trained in it, or you have the Dwemer technology that can read it because they were that fucking advanced. But once that event has come to pass, anybody can then read the scroll.
and then it becomes like just an accurate recording.
That is the
of
most
the events,
like
of
the
that
needle
history.
point accurate event of whatever happened in time.
That's actually
it's undisputable.
Even that is a really cool concept.
Yes.
Like you can't rewrite that. You know, like
Nope.
history is written by the victors, and if you have an Elder Scroll, that completely negates it.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, this is an indestructible, indisputable.
You literally cannot
event of
manipulate
history.
this scroll even by magic or anything.
Damn.
This is the one point in history that this is what actually happened.
Oh man, that's
and of course,
really
unless
cool.
you use it to cast a fucking dragon back in, actually forward in time.
I'm still kind of curious about that, but that's still really cool. Well, they didn't change the Elder Scroll. They basically, if I had to guess, what they did was they found the one that says he shows up in the future, and basically said, "Hey, the world's not ending, bitch. You show up in the future," and then he just disappears.
Yep, and makes that's
the only thing that I can think of.
that crack in time, which then
Yeah.
allows you to learn
Look back and
learn the
figure out what
shout
happened.
and take him down and actually end him. Because wait a minute, does that mean those guys weren't Dragonborn and they just
No, they just knew the shout.
So that's why they sent him.
Yeah, they
So
could
when
not kill him.
They sent it in time to a point where their Dragonborn was real.
Yeah.
So
That's literally what it was.
oh my god.
The only other Dragonborn, there was a Dragonborn in their era,
Yeah.
which was Mirak.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
But the thing is he worked for the dragons. He did not slay them.
Hey, I mean,
he actually even says if you beat Alduin first and then go to do the Dragonborn DLC,
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, I could have done that, you little bitch. I'm that
that's
much
so
better
sad.
than you.
It's like, what the fuck?
I could have done it if I wanted to.
Yeah, that's how it always is. It's like, oh yeah, I easily could have done that, guy.
Yeah, no,
I'm very good at it. I forgot
God,
to.
I want to replay Skyrim.
Then just do it, man.
I'm going to. I might do that Monday after I'm done working on my game for a bit.
No, we don't have to play games with Jerry. Just
Well, I mean, I want to play with Jerry.
I don't care if you want to play with him. Other than that, though, that seems to be it. Oh god, this is a
some pretty
lot
cool
of
stuff.
shit. Don't remember. Fucking supposed date of construction of the Adamantine Tower. Okay. I'm just looking at the timeline.
Oh, just in general, like
Yeah, just for funsies.
so I
Oh, there isn't a lot for the Merithic era. They have a lot of big bullet points, and then it immediately starts into first century.
yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. Okay. Other than that, I believe that is it for this episode.
That's
I
pretty
don't
cool.
think there's anything else. It's a short one, because...
Well, again, it's talking about a MacGuffin, and again,
Yeah.
to make a MacGuffin work, you can't describe it too thoroughly because
You
then
can't
it's
get
like,
into super detail, because there isn't much
can't-
detail.
It can't do this because of this reason, because we know it works like this.
Because people will
It's
try
like,
to pick it apart,
yeah,
and it's
no,
like, come
it's
on.
a MacGuffin. There's
Come
a
on,
lot of
guy.
bullshit. Work with it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Do it.
So that's it for that one.
I still like the idea of just time anchors. That's a really cool idea.
Well, they have some type of anchor thing in ESO originally,
Yeah.
but that has to do with more like
Well,
ball and
that's
shit.
the soul anchors or whatever they are,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
But yeah, that's that.
Pretty cool.
I got nothing else. Is there anything else you needed to talk
No,
about?
I think I've got my thing.
That fucking Wild Hearts game came out.
Oh yeah.
Today's a few days ago it came out.
Have you
Mostly
played it,
negative
or-
reviews on Steam
Ooh.
because it only detects one core of your CPU or something like that.
No.
They don't have multi-threading on it.
And it
So-
fries your computer.
It doesn't fry, it just
But,
won't
like-
allow your computer to. EA is the publisher. So I would have to assume they probably forced the developers or whatever to be like, hey, put it out. The
Mhm.
developers know about the issue when the game released. And they're like, oh, don't worry, guys. We're going to try to fix it next week.
Yeah, well.
But from what people were able to play,
Yeah.
even console and PC that like actually have good
Mm-hmm.
FPS, whatever, they say it's a decently comparison to Monster Hunter.
Okay.
If not I'm not saying a little bit better, but like
It's
a good competitor to
Yeah.
Monster Hunter, which is good because I think
Yeah.
some of the games EA has published, they have been making good like semi competitors to it.
They've been doing okay recently, especially with like their Star Wars stuff. That stuff has been pretty good.
Graphically, it looks really good. I kind of half saw a live stream. Not really. I saw a guy using a bow, but it kind of looked fun. I know I've been wanting to play it.
I was kind of looking forward to it. It definitely looked good. Yeah. It was just a matter of like, wait for it to come out.
With the issues it has right now, the $70 price tag is just it. Unless you got severely lucky and it ran really well on your computer or console, but it's
I mean, look at the bright side. Steam Summer Sale isn't too far away.
Yeah, like they're gonna have a new release immediately for on
dude.
Sale.
What are you talking about? They do that all the time.
It's gonna be like 10%.
If it's over a month old, they will probably have a sale for it.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, hopefully they'll fix it because I do want to play it. The developers who didn't make it were people who did the Hyrule Warriors and Dynasty Warriors series.
Really?
So the game is gonna have its fair issues and bugs.
Well, I mean,
but
yeah, that's still
they can do it.
Yeah, they did some pretty good stuff actually. I liked
because I saw
I liked Samurai Warriors better, but that's just me.
The bow looked pretty cool, and then I like caught the little bit, and there was like a gigaton hammer. Like the fucking thing is, it's bigger than Monster Hunter hammers.
How?
Because it's a giant fuck off hammer, probably the size of the door.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it'll be interesting to see that. But
hey, hold on, Yoshi P. Speaking of hammers, hammers in Final Fantasy when?
Yeah, there is a hammer.
Well, yeah, but you can't use it as a weapon. Like I'm talking about like the actual like gun hammer class.
You're not gonna get a hammer class.
It's gotta happen.
All right, we're stopping there because I don't need to hear more of this rambling when I have to edit this shit out.
Have a good one, everybody.
Alrighty, bye.